We start things off with your national days of the week. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Well, we'll try this. We'll try this. I'll do the best I can. I don't know. I'm looking at it for the very first time. Tomorrow, Monday, June 15th, is National Smile Power Day. Now, I am a graduate of kinesthetic interviews and interrogations. Kinesthetic, I don't know. It's been a long time since I got the diploma. Basically, what it comes down to is you can understand if someone's being truthful or not by their body language. Yes. If you're conducting an interview or an interrogation and you pay attention to the cues, you can find out if someone is telling the truth. And what I learned during those studies of kinesthetic interviews and interrogations was a smile is not always a smile. A smile can be rage hidden behind teeth. You don't believe me? Take any picture of your family smiling and cover up their eyes. If you cover up their eyes, you're going to be able to see if they are angry while faking the funk, while throwing up a smile. Now, on Monday, June 15th, National Smile Power Day, I don't think they're talking about the murderous smile that psychopaths give you when they're hiding their rage behind their teeth. I think what they're talking about is smiles, like laughter, can be contagious. Good can be contagious. So can evil. But we're not focusing on making evil popular. We're making good popular. And you never know what someone is going through. You never know. And a smile and a polite greeting can change their day. True story. Anyone who's been with me for a while knows I suffered a great loss recently. And in the days closest to that loss, I was distraught. There's no other word that explains it. I was not in a good way. And people that greeted me graciously with a smile made me feel better, whether they intended to or not. And those people who were not gracious and didn't smile at me were on the verge of danger because they had no idea what I was going through. And I was distraught and rage-filled and angry. And they were one step closer to the edge. So every day should be Smile Power Day. Because every day you treat your fellow human beings on this rock circling through space at ungodly speeds. You treat everybody with genuine kindness. And you smile. And you say things like, good morning, and hello. You start every day with a positive mental attitude and let it go down from there. But you're gracious and courteous to your fellow human beings, and you never know how that might be received. But most of the time, it's going to be received in a positive way. Occasionally, some weirdos out there going, the next person that says good morning to me, I'm going to... No, we're not thinking about those people. We're thinking about the good people in the world. So, put a happy smile on your face on Monday, June 15th. National Smile Power Day. To your comments, because I saw some pop in. Lunsby is worldwide. After COVID and wearing masks, we had to learn to smile with our eyes, too. There's no such thing. Let me try it. I can laugh with my eyes. I cannot smile with my eyes. I'm pretty sure we've done this before, so let's choose one that we haven't done before to test my range. Tuesday, June 16th, is National Fresh Veggies Day. I don't know if fresh is needed, because I don't believe there's a stale veggies day. Or there's an opposite of fresh veggies day. I think it's just veggies day. And we just assume that they're fresh. I think that makes for a good question of the week. Like, what is your favorite vegetable? Don't answer here. If you're going to answer, I'm going to ask you to answer during the other thing, and with images only. I like vegetables. I eat a lot of vegetables. I don't eat as many vegetables as Brandon eats. Brandon is man, that guy eats lots of vegetables. And he's got the body that shows it. Good for him. Good for him. I'm so happy for him. Ugh. I'm also really jealous. Because I've been eating salads for years. And I don't have a body like that. But he's just over there just chomping on his vegetables all day long. Just chomping away. And now he's got a groundhog in his backyard. And he's chomping away too at his vegetables. There are no fresher vegetables than vegetables that you grow yourself. And I don't know if these things still exist, but if they do, the most low-maintenance fresh vegetables that you can get are these things called topsy-turvies. You build yourself a little cross, and you bury it in your backyard, a T for tolerance, if you will. And you hang two topsy-turvies on them, and you put the cucumbers in one, the mini cucumbers in one, and you put the cherry tomatoes in the other. Man, you are going to have so many tomatoes and so many cucumbers. You're not going to be able to eat them all. They're tasty and delicious, and there is no fresher than pulling out of a little topsy-turvy in your backyard. Because they're not even in the dirt. A lot of these things are in the dirt. These aren't even in the dirt. They grow out the bag. They grew out of the dirt. I don't care how you get your fresh vegetables, but get some in your belly. Specifically, on June 16th, National Fresh Veggies Day. Moving on. I don't have any water. That is so stupid. I don't even know what that is. Oh, these are difficult. Well, I'll do the best I can. No, that's just stupid. I don't know who Stewart is. Wednesday, June 17th, is National Apple Strudel Day. Strudel with apple. I think we talked about this last week. I'm really not sure of the differences. Schnitzel is meat. Strudel is braided pastry with reservoirs for things in them. They could be a mixture of different things, or it could just be apple stuff. It's not an apple. It's apple stuff. It's a jam, a mixture of apple-flavored goodness in between the braided things of the strudel. But apple also pairs very well with schnitzel, which I confused for strudel. I thought the thing I was having in Germany was strudel, but it was schnitzel. But I also had schnitzel and strudel in Germany. This was definitely talked about last week. In last week's episode, which I hope you got to listen to. That was a fun one. So, I don't know where your nearest strudel may come from. I don't know where the nearest place to get strudel is. Would Duncan have strudels? I don't know. But on Wednesday, June 17th, I'm going to go out of my way to see if I can find some apple strudel for National Apple Strudel Day. Snagglepuss, man. It's Snagglepuss. Every time I say that now, you're in my brain. You got me thinking, But you got the name wrong. I got the name right. The cat's name was Snagglepuss. Yes, certainly. One of the options I had to choose from on the 17th was Eat Your Vegetables Day, which I just thought was stupid because it's implied the day before National Fresh Vegetables Day. Looking at Thursday. I don't do internationals. I've told you before I don't do internationals. I just do nationals. Okay, I will do this because it gives me a chance to shout out. Thursday, June 18th is National Go Fishing Day. Oh, that's not too hard, is it? Just go fishing on a Thursday, because that makes sense. This is clearly one of those days that should be a floater. It should be like the second Saturday of the month of June, second Saturday of June. It should be something like that. It shouldn't be a set day so that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, days where you're expected to be at work, you're trying to enjoy the spirit of the national days of the week. You're trying to find a reason to celebrate every day, and you want to go fishing, but no one's going fishing after work, unless you live on a lake that's stocked with fish that have no survival instincts whatsoever. I guess then you could go fishing after work, but normally you go fishing, you go early. I don't really know. I don't know how fishing works. I do know that my mentor, my friend, the man I probably look up to, the living man I probably look up to the most, my friend Jack O'Brien. He's my fishing guide, and he would say, "Let's go," and I would just go. It didn't matter what time of the day was, or what the tides were like, or what the weather was. It didn't matter. Jack said, "Let's go." We went, and we would catch fish, and we would eat those fish. But I would not touch those fish because I have issues. I got issues. So just so you know, on Thursday, June 18th, if you want to go fishing with me, I'll go fishing with you. I got no problem going fishing. Oh, but not Thursday. Thursday? Yeah, not this Thursday. I'm doing something big this Thursday, so I can't go fishing with you. But if you were to ask me on any other day, "Hey, T-Bone, you want to go fishing with me?" I'd say, "Yeah." And then I'd go, "You know the deal, right?" And you'd like, "Yeah." Because if you don't, well, it's not going to be a fun experience. I can't touch fish. I got issues. I can't. I have tried, man. I have tried my dangdest to touch fish. I can't. If they're living and they're moving, I can't do it. I've tried. So if you ever ask me to go fishing with you, I will say yes, but I will always confirm, you know the deal, right? And if you say yes, then let's go fishing. And if you say no, I have to embarrass myself and explain that as a grown man, I can't touch living fish. Anyway, think about all of that on Thursday, June 18th. National Go Fishing Day. I could really use a sip of water right now. I am so parched. Yeah, let's do that. Because why not? Because it's a federal holiday, that's why. Friday, June 19th is National, hold on to your horses now, Juneteenth Day. They really took their time on putting that one together. We need a name for this holiday that is stupid. It's a stupid holiday, and I'll explain why. If you want to celebrate the emancipation of slaves, the Emancipation Proclamation, that'd be a good day to do it. Any of the Reconstruction Amendments, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution, when those were ratified, any of those would be a great day to celebrate. But June 19th, in Galveston, Texas, and only in Galveston, Texas. The locals there just didn't get the news. They had not heard or chose to ignore the Emancipation Proclamation and the ratification of the 13th, the 14th, and 15th Amendments. Galveston, Texas, tiny little coastal town in Texas, chose to either not know or ignore the freedom given to former slaves. But 2.5 years later, an Army general rolls into town and goes, "What in the tarnation are y'all doing here? You can't have slaves no more. Didn't y'all get the message?" And they were like, "Oh, no, we didn't get the message." They probably got the message and just chose to ignore it. I'll free my slaves when somebody tells me to free my slaves, but I'm not taking the freedom of my slaves from the local newspaper. I'm not doing that. I don't know. I don't know what their reasoning is. But 2.5 years after the slaves were actually freed, a general from the United States Army had to go into Galveston, Texas, and remind those slave owners that you can't do that no more. Galveston, Texas. Not America. In America, they had already been freed 2.5 years earlier. Now, why is Juneteenth a big deal? It shouldn't be. In my opinion, it definitely shouldn't be a national holiday. If anything, it should be a national poke Galveston, Texas in the eye day. Because they were jacked up. The rest of the country was doing better. We were moving forward. We were making things happen. But this tiny little town in Texas wasn't. And now we celebrate that stupidity by giving everyone the day off. And we've been celebrating that stupidity long before everybody got the day off. Because, you know, people from Galveston moved out of Galveston. So y'all know we were suffering from slavery for an extra 2.5 years. Let's celebrate the day the news made it to Galveston. Locally, one of the people in my community is on the Book of Faces, and they're saying things like, "I need to know where the Juneteenth celebrations are. I want to get my children out there so they can learn." And I only laugh emoji'd it. I thought that was funny. And she had the nerve to hit me up and say, "Did you accidentally laugh emoji me?" No, I didn't. And I responded with such. And basically, everything I just said here is what I said in my response. And I believe it to still be true. You want to celebrate the end of slavery, do it. But do it when slavery was ended in the United States. Not when a tiny little town in Texas finally got the word. Don't care. Because I guarantee you, there were other places in America that were still practicing slavery. Heck, there are places in America today that are practicing slavery. So wrap your brain around that. While you celebrate on your day off, Friday, June 19th. Juneteenth. Durr. I don't like it, you may have guessed. And there's no, I'm not a racist. But if you say you don't like Juneteenth, immediately what are they going to call you? Racist. Not racist. Person with an opinion and knowledge of history is what I am. It brings all the boys to the yard. I'm going to do this one for 2 reasons. And I'll tell you what those reasons are in a second. Saturday, June 20th, is National Seashell Day. When it came up as one of my options, I immediately thought of my friends who are traveling back from the beach today, where they have been hanging out for a while, doing some vacationing, some much-needed respite, if you will. And what do you find on the beach? Well, you find seashells in all shapes, sizes, and colors. I also chose National Seashell Day to shout out my friend Lennon Free, who has a great joke about seashells. He says if you If you put a seashell up to your ear, you can hear the ocean. And he goes, yeah, especially if you're at the beach. That's where the reception is the best. It's a one-liner. It's a very funny joke. I like it. It makes me laugh every time I hear it. And he gets a shout out. I like conch shells. I like eating conch as well. Be very careful on the pronunciation when you say that out loud. I like eating conch, and I like conch shells, but I've never seen one in the wild. Like every conch shell I've ever seen has always been on display in a souvenir shop. And every conch I've ever eaten has always been in the hood. True story. I've never had fine dining conch. I don't care what you do or where you do it, but if you have a way to enjoy a seashell, whether it just be the coolness of how it looks or the unique pattern that every seashell is different from every other seashell, I don't know how you do the things that you do, but if you do all of those things, I hope you enjoy it. On Saturday, June 20th, National Seashell Day. And finally, stupid, 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 and stupid. Why not? We'll do that one. Sunday, June 21st, is National Selfie Day. There is an art to selfies. The people who do this, they take it up way high, and fat people, we push our chins out to make this not so glaring. You want to be like this all the time when you're taking your selfie. And my phone, I can just wave at it and take it, so I don't have to worry about moving my hand around. It'll take it for me. But whenever you can, not take a selfie, don't. Why are you taking selfies? Why are you taking selfies? At the very minimum, you should be taking an Ussie. At the very minimum. And you should do that in landscape mode, because it's easier to get people in the landscape mode, You're just like, here's a friend. You haven't seen this friend in a very long time. Let's get proof of life photo and take it. Boom, boom. You're done. Got it. Whenever you take a selfie, remember, an Ussie, a theme, a wee, I don't know. There's other names. But whenever you do any of that, remember, hit the button multiple times. Yeah, just in case I don't know anymore. Nowadays, AI fixes bad photos. You just you take a bad photo and then you go into AI and say, I screwed up. This one's blurry. Fix it. And it will. It will. It will do all kinds of amazing things. Right now, the big thing on TikTok, they got a new AI thing out. And it's amazing. It really is. It's really amazing. You just you put your name in and you give it a scene, and it will do the scene for the most part. And they're really good. It takes a long time to process, though. It takes like 20 minutes to process. There's a lot of data processing. There's a lot of data centers that are firing up for my stupid little 12-second videos. But I came up with one that I thought would be really cool, and I programmed it in, and I was like, make this happen. And it was like, no, that violates our policy, our community standards. I'm like, how? How does that violate your community standards? Just make this thing happen. And it refused to do it. And I would like to... The vision that I have, I think, would be beautiful. It's just me and my wife sitting with our dog in between us, who gets up, kisses us, and then runs off and to the sunset and grows his wings and flies off into heaven. I think that'd be really cool, but I haven't done it yet. So I don't know selfie technology anymore. I don't know if you even need to take more than one photo. Heck, I don't know why for 31 minutes there's been a blank screen on TikTok. I mean, I have no idea. And I also don't care. I don't care anymore. But think about that. And you know what? Take an Ussie on Selfie Day. Sunday, June 21st. National Selfie / Ussy Day. All right, I'm going